girlfriend shared my private job struggles with her ex, saying I wasn't ambitious enough to succeed, then invited him to my startup launch party while I was barely scraping by. So when my business took off and I found someone who actually supported me, she begged for me back, claiming she always believed in me, but it was too late. I'm Connor, 28, and I work as a freelance graphic designer while building my own digital marketing agency in Austin. It's been a challenging journey trying to establish myself in a competitive field, especially while managing student loans and the unpredictable income that comes with freelance work. My girlfriend of 2 years, Jessica, 26, works as a marketing coordinator at a well-established tech company downtown, earning a steady salary with benefits and job security I could only dream of. Our relationship started strong when I was working full-time at a design agency and had consistent income. Jessica seemed impressed by my creativity and ambition, often telling friends about my innovative project ideas and entrepreneurial dreams. She'd encourage me to take risks and pursue my own business, saying she believed in my talent and potential for success. About 8 months ago, I made the decision to leave my stable agency job and focus entirely on building my own digital marketing firm. It was a calculated risk based on several freelance clients who'd expressed interest in long-term partnerships and my confidence that I could provide better service as an independent contractor than the large agency I was working for. The transition was more difficult than I'd anticipated. 2 of my potential long-term clients backed out due to budget cuts, and acquiring new clients took longer than expected. My income dropped significantly while I invested time and money into building my business infrastructure, creating marketing materials, and developing systems that would allow me to scale operations eventually. Jessica initially seemed supportive of my entrepreneurial journey. She'd ask about my progress, celebrate small wins like landing new clients, and reassure me during difficult weeks when income was particularly low. I was grateful to have a partner who understood that building a business requires temporary sacrifices for long-term success. But about 4 months ago, Jessica's attitude began shifting subtly. She started making comments about my unstable work situation and questioning whether I'd made the right decision leaving my agency job. When I'd share struggles with difficult clients or challenges finding new business, she'd suggest that maybe I should consider returning to traditional employment for financial security. These conversations always ended with Jessica claiming she was just being practical and looking out for our future together. She'd say she believed in my abilities but worried about the financial stress my business uncertainty was causing both of us. I appreciated her concern and tried to address her worries by sharing my business plan and explaining the progress I was making despite temporary setbacks. 3 months ago, Jessica reconnected with her college ex-boyfriend Marcus through LinkedIn. According to her, Marcus had reached out to congratulate her on a promotion at work and mentioned he was moving to Austin for a senior marketing position at a major corporation. Jessica told me about their reconnection casually, showing me his message and explaining their shared history as business majors who dated junior year. I didn't think much of this initial contact. Jessica and I had always been open about maintaining friendly relationships with ex-partners, and I trusted her completely. Marcus seemed like a successful professional who was simply networking and catching up with old friends, which seemed normal for people in similar industries. But gradually, Marcus became a more frequent presence in Jessica's conversations. She'd mention his insights about marketing trends, share advice he'd given about her career development, and reference conversations they'd had about the Austin business community. Jessica portrayed these interactions as valuable professional networking, which made sense given their shared background and industry experience. 2 months ago, I overheard a phone conversation that made me uncomfortable. Jessica was talking to Marcus about my business struggles, describing my financial difficulties and expressing doubts about whether I'd chosen the right path. She mentioned that I was struggling to find my footing and that she was concerned about the sustainability of my business model. When I asked Jessica about sharing my private business challenges with Marcus, she claimed she was seeking professional advice from someone with corporate marketing experience. She said Marcus had offered insights about the challenges facing small businesses and suggestions for how I might pivot my approach to be more successful. I felt betrayed that Jessica had discussed my personal struggles with her ex-boyfriend without my permission, but she insisted that her intentions were supportive. She claimed she was trying to help by getting expert advice about how I could improve my business strategy, and that Marcus was just being friendly by offering professional guidance. 6 weeks ago, Jessica started comparing my situation more explicitly to Marcus's success. She'd mention his impressive salary, his company benefits, and his rapid career advancement since college. These comparisons always came with reassurances that she believed in my potential, but the subtext was clear: Marcus represented the kind of stable, ambitious partner she thought she deserved. The breaking point came 4 weeks ago when I was planning a launch event for my digital marketing agency. After months of hard work, I'd finally assembled enough clients and developed sufficient systems to officially launch my business with a professional networking event. I'd invited potential clients, industry contacts, and friends to celebrate this milestone and hopefully generate new business opportunities. I was excited to share this achievement with Jessica and asked her to help me plan the event. She seemed enthusiastic initially, suggesting venues and helping design invitations. I was grateful for her support and looking forward to celebrating this major step in my entrepreneurial journey with the person I loved most. 3 days before the launch event, Jessica mentioned that she'd invited Marcus to attend. She claimed he was interested in learning about small marketing agencies and might be able to refer corporate clients to my business. She portrayed this as networking that could benefit my company, suggesting that Marcus's corporate connections could be valuable for my growth. I was uncomfortable with Jessica inviting her ex-boyfriend to my professional event without discussing it with me first, but she insisted that I was being insecure and missing a valuable business opportunity. She said Marcus was genuinely interested in supporting local entrepreneurs and that his attendance could lead to significant corporate partnerships for my agency. The night of my launch event, Marcus arrived dressed impeccably and immediately began networking with other attendees. He was charming, confident, and clearly successful, everything that I was still working to become. Jessica spent most of the evening talking with Marcus, introducing him to people as her friend from college who works in corporate marketing. But what devastated me was overhearing Jessica's conversation with Marcus and several other attendees near the end of the evening. She was discussing my business journey, but her tone was completely different from the supportive partner narrative she'd maintained with me privately. "Connor's got creative ideas," Jessica was saying, "but I'm not sure he's ambitious enough to really succeed in this industry. Starting a business is one thing, but scaling it requires a different level of drive and business acumen. Some people are better suited for traditional employment than entrepreneurship." Marcus nodded sympathetically and added, "It takes a special kind of person to handle the pressure and uncertainty of building something from scratch. Not everyone has that entrepreneurial mindset, and there's no shame in recognizing your limitations." I stood there listening to my girlfriend essentially tell my professional contacts that I lacked the ambition and capability to succeed in my own business. She was undermining my credibility at my own launch event while positioning Marcus as the example of what real professional success looked like. The conversation continued with Jessica discussing the challenges of dating someone with an unstable income and uncertain future. She spoke about my business struggles with intimate knowledge that could only have come from private conversations, sharing details about my financial stress and self-doubt that I'd confided in her during vulnerable moments. Marcus seemed to enjoy this validation of his superior position, offering reassuring comments about Jessica's patience with my phase and suggesting that some people eventually realize they need more stability than entrepreneurship can provide. The entire exchange felt like Jessica was auditioning Marcus as a replacement while publicly diminishing my potential for success. I spent the rest of my own launch event watching Jessica flirt with her ex-boyfriend while he absorbed credit for insights about my business that he'd gained through her private betrayals of my confidence. Instead of celebrating my achievement, I was witnessing my girlfriend undermine my professional reputation while positioning herself as available to someone she considered more successful. The next morning, I confronted Jessica about what I'd overheard. Her response was immediate defensiveness followed by gaslighting about my interpretation of her words. She claimed I'd misunderstood her comments, that she was actually defending my business to people who were skeptical, and that Marcus was genuinely trying to help by offering professional advice. But I'd heard the conversation clearly. Jessica hadn't been defending me, she'd been apologizing for me. She'd portrayed my entrepreneurial journey as evidence of my lack of ambition rather than proof of my willingness to take risks and build something meaningful. Her betrayal was complete and calculated. That afternoon, I ended our relationship. I told Jessica that I couldn't be with someone who shared my private struggles with her ex-boyfriend, undermined my professional reputation at my own business event, and clearly viewed my ambitions as inadequate compared to her ex's conventional success. Jessica's reaction was immediate panic. She claimed she'd never meant to hurt me, that her comments had been taken out of context, and that she actually believed in my business potential. She begged for another chance, promising to support my entrepreneurial journey without reservation and to cut contact with Marcus entirely. But the damage was done. Jessica had shown me who she really was when she thought I couldn't hear, someone who viewed my struggles as evidence of personal failure rather than temporary challenges on the path to success. She'd chosen to share my vulnerabilities with her ex-boyfriend instead of protecting my confidence, and she'd used my own launch event to position herself as available to someone she considered more suitable. Update 1. 3 months after ending things with Jessica, my business has taken off beyond my wildest expectations. 2 major clients signed long-term contracts based on referrals from attendees at my launch event, and I've hired 3 freelance specialists to help manage the increased workload. The irony is that Jessica's undermining comments at my launch party actually motivated several potential clients to give me a chance, wanting to support a local entrepreneur despite his ex-girlfriend's lack of confidence in him. More importantly, I met someone incredible at a networking event 6 weeks ago. Her name is Riley, she's 27, and she runs her own successful photography business specializing in corporate headshots and marketing materials. Riley understands the challenges and rewards of entrepreneurship because she's living them herself, and her support has been transformative for both my business and personal confidence. Riley's approach to my business challenges is completely different from Jessica's. When I share struggles or setbacks, Riley offers practical advice, emotional support, and genuine encouragement. She celebrates my wins enthusiastically and helps me problem-solve difficulties without making me feel like my ambitions are unrealistic or my struggles indicate personal failure. The contrast between Jessica's and Riley's responses to my entrepreneurial journey is striking. Where Jessica saw my business struggles as evidence that I wasn't ambitious enough for real success, Riley sees them as natural parts of building something meaningful. Where Jessica shared my private challenges with her ex-boyfriend, Riley protects my confidence while offering constructive feedback that actually helps me improve. Riley and I have started collaborating professionally as well as personally. Her photography business and my marketing agency complement each other perfectly, and we've been able to refer clients and even partner on comprehensive branding packages. Having a romantic partner who truly understands entrepreneurship has been invaluable for both my business development and emotional well-being. Meanwhile, Jessica's situation has become increasingly desperate. Marcus apparently wasn't as interested in a serious relationship as he was in enjoying the attention of an available ex-girlfriend. After a few casual dates, he made it clear that he was focused on his career and not looking for commitment, leaving Jessica without either her original relationship or the upgrade she'd been pursuing. Jessica has attempted to contact me multiple times through various channels. She's called, texted, sent emails, and even shown up at networking events where she thought I might be present. Her messages have evolved from apologies to desperate pleas for reconciliation, claiming she's realized her mistake and wants to support my business success properly. Last week, Jessica sent a long letter detailing how proud she is of my business growth and how sorry she is for not believing in my potential when we were together. She claimed that seeing my success has made her realize she was wrong to doubt my ambitions and that she'd learned valuable lessons about supporting entrepreneurial partners. But Jessica's apologies ring hollow because they're based on my business success rather than recognition that her behavior was wrong regardless of outcomes. She's not sorry for sharing my private struggles with her ex-boyfriend. She's sorry that her bet on Marcus didn't pay off while my business exceeded her expectations. Update 2. 6 months later, and the differences between my life with Jessica and my life with Riley couldn't be more dramatic. My digital marketing agency now employs 5 full-time staff members and has expanded into 3 different service areas. We've been featured in Austin Business Journal as one of the city's fastest-growing startups, and I'm speaking at entrepreneurship conferences about building sustainable creative businesses. Riley has been instrumental in my success, not because she's done the work for me, but because her support has allowed me to focus entirely on growing my business without worrying about judgment or criticism from my romantic partner. Having someone who genuinely believes in your potential and celebrates your achievements makes an enormous difference in confidence and motivation. Our relationship has flourished alongside our individual business successes. Riley's photography company has also expanded significantly, and we've become known in Austin's entrepreneur community as a power couple who support each other's ambitions while maintaining successful independent businesses. We're planning to move in together next month and have discussed long-term goals that include both personal and professional collaboration. Jessica's attempts at reconciliation have become more frequent and desperate as my public success has grown. She's reached out to mutual friends, tried to connect through professional networks, and even approached Riley directly to claim that she helped inspire my business success by encouraging me to take risks and pursue my entrepreneurial dreams. Riley handled Jessica's contact with perfect professionalism, simply responding that she wasn't interested in discussing Jessica's previous relationship and that Jessica should respect my clearly stated boundaries about communication. Riley's confidence and directness in protecting our relationship stands in stark contrast to Jessica's willingness to share my private struggles with her ex-boyfriend. The most satisfying vindication came last month when I was invited to speak at a marketing conference where both Jessica and Marcus were in attendance. Jessica approached me after my presentation, attempting to congratulate me on my success and suggesting we should catch up over coffee to discuss how proud she was of my achievements. I thanked Jessica politely but declined her invitation, explaining that I was happy in my current relationship and focused on continuing to grow my business with supportive people around me. Jessica's face fell as she realized that her opportunity to reconnect had passed permanently, and that my success had come specifically because I'd removed her negativity and doubt from my life. Marcus also attempted to network with me at the conference, apparently forgetting that I'd overheard his condescending comments about my limitations at my launch event. He tried to position himself as someone who'd always believed in my potential and suggested we should explore possible corporate partnerships between his company and my agency. I responded professionally but coolly, explaining that my agency was focused on working with clients who had supported our growth from the beginning rather than those who had initially doubted our potential. Marcus seemed confused by my response until I referenced his specific comments from my launch event, at which point he quickly ended the conversation and avoided me for the rest of the conference. Work continues to be incredibly fulfilling. Building something from scratch and watching it succeed has been more rewarding than any traditional employment could have been. The temporary struggles and financial uncertainty that Jessica viewed as evidence of my lack of ambition were actually investments in long-term success and personal fulfillment. My team at the agency has become like family, and we've created a company culture that prioritizes creativity, innovation, and mutual support. Several of my employees are also entrepreneurs working on side projects, and I actively encourage their ambitions because I understand how important it is to have people around you who believe in your potential rather than doubt your capabilities. Riley and I have started discussing the possibility of launching a combined creative services company that would integrate marketing strategy with professional photography, videography, and design services. Our individual successes have positioned us perfectly to create something even more significant together, and having a partner who shares your entrepreneurial mindset makes ambitious goals feel achievable rather than overwhelming. The most important lesson from this entire experience has been learning to recognize the difference between support and sabotage in relationships. Jessica's sharing of my private struggles with her ex-boyfriend wasn't concern for my success, it was positioning herself as available to someone she considered more suitable while undermining my confidence and professional reputation. Real partners protect your vulnerabilities rather than sharing them with people who might use them against you. Real partners celebrate your ambitions rather than comparing them unfavorably to other people's conventional success. And real partners believe in your potential even when you're struggling, rather than waiting until you've proven yourself to claim they always had faith in you. Jessica wanted the security and status of dating someone with established success, but she wasn't willing to support the process of building that success. Riley, on the other hand, understands that true partnership means believing in each other's potential and working together toward shared goals, even when the path is uncertain. Some people have suggested that I should give Jessica credit for motivating me to succeed by leaving our relationship, but that misses the point entirely. My success came from removing negative influences and surrounding myself with people who genuinely believed in my potential. Jessica's doubt and betrayal weren't motivational, they were obstacles that I had to overcome to achieve my goals. Real ambition isn't just about individual achievement, it's about building a life surrounded by people who support your dreams rather than undermining them. Jessica may regret losing someone who became successful, but I'm grateful to have learned the difference between conditional support based on outcomes and unconditional belief in someone's potential.